Hello everybody and welcome to a special unboxing. So this is the Elves Box by the Sophie and Toffee Club, and this is a crafting subscription box. So in here there'll be resin, there'll be stuff to make resin items, and the challenge is to make something using only the contents of the box. Don't have to use everything in the box, just only using what's in the box. So I haven't opened one of these before. Let's get into it and see what we have got. My box came a little bashed up, but it should be fine. So we'll just open up and see what we have. Okay. So here we go. This is the Elves Box by Sophie and Toffee. And this is the clue. This is the theme, which is Kawaii Sweets, which is a collaboration with Creative Reichi. There is a video tutorial, which I'm not going to look at just yet. I might look at that a bit later, but we shall see what we've got in. So let's open it up and see what we have. Wow, yes, okay, my box looks like it got a bit shook up during transit, but that's fine. So we have the UV resin, which is always good. I like UV resin rather than normal resin. Normal resin just takes ages to dry. This, I can use a little UV light and have it dried pretty quickly. Okay, so we've got the UV resin. We have, now I have seen these before, they're like little clay, let's see if I can focus on these. They're like little clay, well they're like little Fimo or clay slices of fruits. I have used these before for doing like nail decoration. I've never used them in UV, however. It might be fun to try. Okay. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, it looks like we've got like little head pins for making charms, etc. With what looks like a seed inside there as well, actually. Fine, okay. But yeah, they're like the little head pins for making charms or jewellery. We have what looks like silver glitter or resin and some sponge applicators. So that'd be useful to brush over the top of something once it's dried, make it look silver. We have some clay tools. Interesting. Yep, there we go. And there we also have some polymer clay. Right, well I probably won't be using polymer clay in this make simply because it needs baking and I just don't have time for that. We also have, keeping on the clay theme, an acrylic roller, which is very useful. I was actually thinking about buying myself one of these because I haven't actually got a plastic roller, so that will be useful. Even if I don't use it in this video, I will be using that. And then we've got, wow, a whole bunch of pastel colour glitters. These are gorgeous. I've never actually tried putting glitter in UV resin. I've tried it on polymer clay, which, yeah, that's white polymer clay. Is it air dry or is it oven bake? Looks like it's oven bake. Of course, it's all in Japanese, so I can't read it, but I think that's oven bake. I have used glitter, and it looks like we've got some pastel chalks there too, with polymer clay, but I've never used it with UV resin. I think we might be having an experiment today. Then we have, I've already talked about the pastels, so let's have a look at the pastels. Covered in glitter, of course. So these, I've never heard of Master's Pastel before. I have to mention as well that these are all from Japan. So a lot of the stuff that I get I have never used before. So I'm looking forward to trying these just as pastels. Let's have a look, let's see what like that box. Okay, so that's a nice little sleeve. So we've got a bunch of colours on the back. So yeah, this actually comes from Shanghai. So that's a really nice little box. Let's have a look and see what the pastels themselves are like. Okay, they've got a nice little foam packaging there for protection, and ooh, they're nice. Okay, so they're very thin, very slim. They feel like chalk pastels. Yeah, they smell like chalk pastels. So I think they'll actually have a really nice colour. Yeah, I mean the colour's already coming off my hand, so that's good. So yeah, I've used pastels before to colour clay. I don't know how we'll use those with UV resin. I wonder if I could shave a bit off to try and colour some UV resin, because I've got some ideas for what I want to do. Okay, we're going to pop those to one side and see what else we've got. Okay, let's see what else we've got. So we've got, looks like a little cutter. Get it out of the bag. Yes, we've got a little flower cutter, so that'll be, again, useful for the clay. I like that cutter. I've not actually got any clay cutters. That'd be fun to try. Okay. I definitely need to do some polymer clay videos as well, because I have a ton of clay. Like these tools, I've already got these tools. I have multiples of these tools, but they are so useful. I'll be adding those to my collection. I'm not going to get out my clay stuff now, but yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do some sort of clay video at some point. Okay, and then we have some silicone moulds. Quite a few silicone moulds. Okay, let's have a look at these. So I've got a feeling with it being kawaii sweets, the theme, I think these are going to be like sweet themed. Okay, so I've got, let's see if we can see these. See how well it'll focus. So that looks like an orange or a lemon slice. That looks like top of a sweet, sort of like a chocolate. That sort of looks like a honeycomb type effect. You know those chocolates that have like the raspberry inside? That's what that looks like to me. Then we've got another, again that looks like a chocolate shape to me. And that looks like sort of a trifle or maybe segmented orange. And then we've got like a little one with a little star on top. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to use a couple of these resin moulds and the UV resin. And I think what I'm going to try and do is I think I'm going to try and mix up some resin with the clay, with the pastels, get a box of pastels out, and make like a chocolatey effect. And then I think we're going to pop some of the glitter on the top to make them look like chocolates. And then I think what we'll do is we'll make them into charms with the head pins. So I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah, okay, so what I will need, because it's UV resin, I will need to not knock things over. I will need my UV pen light. So I believe this is curing time 2 to 10 minutes with UV light. Don't worry, I'll cut that out. 10 to 30 minutes with sunlight, 30 to 60 minutes in cloudy weather. Well, that's absolutely fine. I need to get myself some more of this though, UV resin. I've actually run out. I'll use this for this one, but I don't know how many applications that will do me. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I do need something to mix everything with, and of course I don't have anything nearby. Let me find a lid for something. Here we go. Okay, so I've got myself a little lid, and this is just to mix up some UV resin and the chalks, just to see if this will work. So I'm going to put everything else to one side. Oh, can you see what I'm doing here? Not really. Okay, so let me move the box. Okay, so here we've got my pastels, here I've got my lid. You guys should be able to see this now, and my UV resin. So I am just going to take my pastel, and what I want to do is I want to create like a chocolatey look to the resin. I'm going to want to get my mould. I think I'm just going to do enough for one mould. I think I want to do this sort of chocolatey one with the ridges on, because that reminds me of a Thornton's chocolate type thing. So we're going to do that. So I want to do enough for that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my pastel and I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and I'm just going to start scraping off that. Scrapes off so nicely. That should probably be enough of the brown. I want to add a little bit of black as well, just to give it a little bit of extra depth. That should probably be enough for the black. Okay, I think the easiest way to do this is probably actually to tip that into the mould and then put the UV resin directly into the mould, and then I'll use yeah, I've got an orange stick lying around. I'll use an orange stick just to sort of mix everything together to get the colours matched. So I'm just going to try not to get this everywhere and tip this straight into the mould. Let's use the orange stick to just scrape it out. I'm probably doing this completely the wrong way. This is entirely an experiment and I've done way too much. That's fine. Rather too much than too little. Okay. I'm just going to try and scrape down the sides just so I get all of that nice stuff into the mould. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Yes. Okay. So then I'm just going to take the UV resin and I'm going to pour a few drops of this in here. Should just... And I think I've done what I do every single time. Yep, forgot to... Yep, even the budgie's shouting at me. Okay, let's just take this top off. Every time I forget about this. Oh. Right, I think the easiest way to do this is just to pierce the lid. Kids, don't do this. Alright, that should do the trick. Let's just pop the lid on. Come on. Okay. Right, that should be enough now to do it. So let's just pour in maybe a few drops at a time. Come on. Okay. Ooh, that's taking on a nice chocolatey colour already, so let's just mix this up. Make it a nice dark brown sludgy colour. I really want to try and get into all the ridges at the bottom to make sure I've got all the chocolatey goodness mixed up. Ooh, see, that looks like really dark chocolate there. That looks really good. Okay, let's just top the rest of this up. Okay, I think that's going to be enough there. I actually want to add a bit more white into this. I think I added a bit too much black. Let's just add in a touch of white. Okay. I love how soft those pastels are. They really just come off really easily. So let's just mix all of this up now. Try not to get it all over the place. Yeah, that looks better. That looks more chocolatey. Still looks like dark chocolate, but that's fine. I want it quite dark because I want to go in with the glitters on top. And I might even put some of that silver on the back of it just to see how that looks. But we shall see. Okay, now that's all mixed up, I'm going to set that. Okay, I'm going to set that, so I'm going to use my UV light. and we're just going to see how that looks in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to switch off now. I shall see you in a bit. Okay, so we're back and I have set this and we're ready to unmold it now. So let's have a look and see how it turned out. Okay, so that looks really nice. Let's see if we can see how good it looks on camera. So it's very shiny. Looks almost like a gummy rather than a chocolate, but that is fine. It looks like a sweet, which is what I wanted. So let's go in and decorate the top with this. And I want to use some of these really nice looking, if I can get the box open, glitters without them all going everywhere. And I think I want to use something like, I think I'll use this one actually, which is like a whitish lavender. See if you can see that. And that's my budgie having an absolute fit. Sam, good boy. There we go. Okay. By the way, Sam is going to be quite loud in a lot of my videos. If it does happen, I'm not going to cut it out. The bird stays. So, we shall... Oh, I'm getting glitter all over myself already. Okay, let's just take a little bit of this. I think I might try this with one of the applicators from this one. I'm going to have to cut this open. Okay, so I think I'll use one of the applicators and we're just going to open this up. And just use this just to dab on some of the glitter on the top, see if it takes. If I just dab it on, it might stick, because it is still quite a little bit tacky. Press that on. Okay, so yeah, that's got a really nice sort of glittery just coat to that now. Trying to get sort of like a confectioner's sugar type look. And I think what I'll do is, if I just quickly just run the UV light over the top, that should just help. Really, Sam? Sam really wants to be in the video. There we go. That just might heat up the resin enough just to help that stick. Sam? Thank you. There we go. Just enough to help that stick. And then what I want to do is try and get one of these head pins in. Maybe. Make it into a bit of a charm. So if I can grab a head pin, I'm going to have to find a container for those. It's not a resealable bag. And see if we can push this. Ooh, this might be tricky. See if we can push this in. There we go. Awesome. So the inside of this hasn't fully set, so it's still quite soft. So I should be able just to set that now with the UV light. Just so the outside edge of it sets fully. Okay, this shouldn't take too long. How's that looking? There we go, I think that's set. So there we go. That is Little Chocolate Charm. Try and get that in focus, there we go. So you can't really see on camera, maybe you can just about see the glitter. And then I can make a couple of those and make little charms out of them. So that was my first challenge with the Sophie and Toffee box. Absolutely love these. I'm looking forward to trying these out just as pastels actually. I think they're really nice. Good resin. Really good fun. I love this box, and I will definitely be doing more of this as the as they come in. I do want to do something with the polymer clay, but for the videos I'm doing I can't really do that, just because it needs baking, etc. So, excellent. Hope you enjoyed that, as always, and I shall see you in the next video, hopefully with not quite as much background squawking as there was in this one. But thank you all so much for watching, and I shall see you all in the next one. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Bye!